money. Everyone likes this stuff. In this video I'm going to show you the most robust technique for getting just that in my singing monsters. Since this topic has already been covered by a bunch of YouTubers before, and since most ways of coin farming are pretty straightforward, I'm going to pull this video in a different direction. I'm going to go through the details of what is known as weirdo farming. Weirdo farming is the absolute best way of earning coins in the game. However, making a weirdo farm requires a huge deal of effort to pull off, and is thus only worthwhile for very advanced players. If you are a more intermediate player, I would suggest quad farming as the best way to earn more coins, but that type of farming is very straightforward, so you don't need me to explain to you how to do that. I touched upon the benefits of weirdo farming in my previous video about Kana farming, but in this video I want to go more in depth about the details of weirdo farming in particular. So if you are unfamiliar with the economics of these battle sacks, let me clue you in. The Werdos are utterly and entirely broken when it comes to coin production. These are the statistics of the Werdos. As you can see, when they are leveled up to maximum and are at full happiness, one of these will produce the maximum amount of 400,000 coins with the rate of 450 coins per minute. These stats are the same for each of the 4 Werdos. That is literally almost the same rate of coin production as a Wabux for one of these. The notable exception that makes a weirdo superior to Wabux is that you can fit 4 of these hairy tumors in the same area as one Wabux, and they take up a meager 1/6 of the amount of beds that a Wabux takes. That's right, a 2x2 area and 1 bed for a monster with this rate of coin production. These are the statistics which make Werdos the best monsters for coin farming in the game. However, not surprisingly, the garbage cans are not simple to obtain. They cost 100 relics each. You are probably already aware of these costs, but in case you were not, you're probably questioning how farming Werdos with that price tag would ever be profitable. The solution is mass production. If one manages to figure out a way to make relics as easily obtainable as possible, then suddenly these public urinals no longer become as expensive as one initially thought. Now I'm going to go through a bunch of strategies on how to get relics. There are 4 main ways of getting relics in my singing monsters. The most straightforward way to get them is to simply exchange them with diamonds in the shop. There is no limit to how many relics you can get exchanged with diamonds, but the price of the transaction increases rapidly for each of the relics you exchange. However, the price resets each day. The key to getting relics this way is thus to be persistent and to buy a small amount of relics each day for long-term profit. My recommendation for most players is to buy 2 relics a day. It only costs 4 diamonds, and I believe most players watching this can keep up with that price. If you are very keen on fast relic production and an advanced player, then perhaps 3 relics a day can suit you. That will cost you 10 diamonds. Although this strategy of exchanging relics with diamonds can be a great way to earn relics, it's primarily the best for building up a base of relics that you can use as an investment for Amber Island. Getting a weirdo takes 50 days and 200 diamonds with this, if you get it by buying 2 relics per day. Obviously this strategy is thus not sufficient enough for a weirdo farm. The second way of getting relics is through various occasions. This includes the relics you get from spinning the wheel, doing the memory game, weekly rewards, as well as completing goals. The third way to get relics is by feeding your monsters to a level above the level 15. When this is done, monsters now get a chance to produce a special item each time you collect their currency. One of the possible special rewards is to get 3 relics. However, none of these strategies of getting relics are sufficient for a weirdo farm. The only way to really make the Werdos affordable is through the 4th strategy. This is by getting monsters on Amber Island. They will produce a high amount of relics for you consistently, and they only require a small investment of relics and some time to get. It kinda doesn't even matter which monsters you decide to get on Amber Island, pretty much any of them is going to have an impact. However, if you're looking for the absolute best way of getting relics, then farming Canis is the best choice. Or actually it's Vivienne, but Vivienne is only available a few times a year, which makes it very hard to farm on a large scale. That's why I recommend Kana. As I mentioned earlier, I have an entire video on cane farming, so please do check that video out if you're interested. A full cane farm will give you approximately 22 relics a day if you log into the game twice a day. That means you will be able to buy a Werdo every 5 days. As you can clearly see, this is a huge improvement to the strategies I brought up earlier. Now that you know how to sufficiently get relics, we can get into the details of actually doing the strategy. You're able to fit 165 Werdos on your standard natural island. However, don't expect to actually fit all of these retards, since you might need place for different kinds of structures. One big problem that immediately arises with different types of farming is that it kinda destroys your song. Therefore, I would recommend that you allocate these Werdo farms on your mirror islands so that you can still have the normal song on your regular islands. However, if you go for a farm on your mirror island, I highly recommend you still leave room for all of the ordinary breedable monsters, which would be very useful if you're trying to revitalize vessels on Amber Island. Don't worry though, there are 5 mirror islands and you will never run out of room to place new Werdos. One important thing that you need to take away from this video is that you should never, and I really mean never, buy a Werdo when it's not on sale. A few times a year the price of Werdos gets halved from 100 relics to 50 relics. If you have saved up a bunch of relics beforehand, you're going to be able to buy literally twice the amount of decayed landfills once they go on sale. That decreases the time of being able to afford a Werdo with a cane farm from 5 days to 2.5 days, to show you the scale of it. Don't get impatient because you don't see the sale coming. It will in time, and it's absolutely worth waiting for. I had saved up 1,000 relics previously, and I managed to spend all of that on Werdos once they went on sale. Subsequently, I was able to afford 20 Werdos that now give me approximately 10 million coins every time I log in. Alright guys, that was all I had to cover in this video. I hope that it was entertaining. Although I don't expect any of you to try this strategy, maybe it still inspired you or taught you some stuff you didn't know earlier. Thanks for watching everyone. I'll see you around.